It's
Good.
recording.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I would like to call this meeting to begin. Before we do anything, I would like to do introductions. So my name is Khadijah Oluo. I will now be sitting as the chair for safety and transportation, public safety and transportation. Um, I'm getting more well acquainted with all the issues and concerns that are kind of bestowed in regards to this position. So I just found out I'll be doing this last week on Thursday. So it's still familiarly new with me. So as I'm getting more acquainted with this position, you'll see a difference. So outside of this, my daytime job, I work for Health and Human Services for the federal government. So what I do is emergency management. So when there's a hurricane, a natural disaster, anywhere in the United States and the U.S. territories, my team goes out to deploy to assess and do medical triage. So I will transfer it over to introductions to Adele, and then you could pick whoever you want.
Adele Bennett, committee member. Good evening.
Okay, thank you, Adele.
George
Mr.
Tate.
George.
Okay. Hey, good evening, George Tate, committee member.
Thank you. Hazel.
So I'm at an event, so I'm just gonna let you on mute.
Okay, no problem. Thank you. Monica?
Monica McCain Brown, committee member. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. So I know this is, I really don't know how this is supposed to go, so I'm assuming the next thing is, do I motion for someone to start this meeting? Someone help me.
No, actually, there's a couple of other people that online that I see. Radisha Johnson.
Okay, so can you please join? Okay. Rashida, can you please announce yourself?
Hello, my name is Rashida Johnson. I just moved to this area for this board, so I usually get involved in what's going on in my neighborhood. So yeah, I want to know what's going on. I'm a mural artist. I have a company. I'm a teaching artist. I need some work. So yeah, that's
Are
it.
you a community board member or are you just
I
a...
am not. This is my first meeting ever.
Okay.
hmm
Oh, okay. Welcome to the community board. Welcome
Thank
to
you.
public safety and transportation. Ayana, I think you said something, right? And I think Ayana's typing. So I would like to start the meeting in regards to the agenda. As you guys can see the screen, am I correct? You guys can see the agenda?
Yes.
Okay, so the next thing is to do roll call. Nadine, is it possible for you to do roll call?
What did you say again?
Is it possible to do roll call?
Yes. Everyone just would have to. You could do like say from left to right. Excuse me.
Okay. So from left to right. So I, Khadijah Lewis, is present. Ayana, are you
You would
present?
announce that we're gonna do roll call, and everyone could
Got it.
announce their name from left to right or right to left, however
We
you
did
choose.
we did introductions though.
Yeah, did introductions. Okay.
We did introductions.
So that could be considered part of roll call because this is your first time.
Okay, no problem.
Okay.
Okay, in regards to the chair's report, I really can't say I have anything to report out as of right now. So I will move on to the next thing, which is the approvals of January's meeting. So can I get a motion for the approval of January's meetings?
Madam
First, did
Chair.
anyone get to read? Did everyone read all of January's meetings? Minutes.
No, I don't have that.
Oh,
Madam Chair, yeah, first, I don't know if Miss Lyons could tell you whether or not we have a quorum. Because from what I see, I don't know if we have a quorum, and we
do
do need
we?
one in order
Got
to
it.
approve the minutes. Thank
Thank you, Mr. Tate. Nadine, do we have quorum for public safety and transportation?
We do not have quorum at this time.
Okay, so then I guess we cannot do approval of minutes.
Right. You
A
could just
question I do
continue with the
have,
meeting, and then maybe some people will come in later.
how many people do we need for it to be quorum?
It's 46 members, so you would need
Got it. Okay. Okay. I
26. So it's
guess
25 plus 1. No,
got
I'm wrong. I'm calculating wrong. This is
I get
46.
24.
You
you.
would need
24,
24.
24.
Right. I
24.
said 25, 24.
It's okay. First time's for everything. Okay, so I guess we cannot do the approval of minutes. Next on the agenda is the monthly report from NYPD. Is the 67th precinct on the call? I don't see that.
Not yet.
Got it. So we'll move on to the next part. There's no TLC applications. The next thing I do have is in regards to new business is I did receive an email from Community Board 8 in regards to a motion for public safety concerns. The board of the Bronx 8 received a numerous amount of complaints about reckless e-bike riding alongside alarming statistics of injuries and fatalities since e-bikes were legalized back in 2020. The Bronx Community Board is passed a resolution called the Priscilla's Law, which is New York's Council Inter 0606-2024, which mandates that licensing and registration of e-bikes is similar to vehicles in New York City. The context of the law is named after Priscilla Loki, a teacher who was killed by an e-bike back in 2023, highlighting the urgent need of improving public safety. The call for action is to urge for other community boards to urge New York City Council to pass this bill and request that city budget allocations for implementation while considering community concerns. Any questions pertaining to this, the bill Priscilla's Law? Okay, I guess not. So the question will then be, is this something that Community Board Public Safety Committee, is this something that we should support?
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Val speaking. I think we should, because we have a major problem. Those bikes everywhere.
Yeah,
They don't follow
I
any
totally
rules.
agree.
They almost hit me. And I wasn't moving.
Yeah. I'm also hearing, so is everybody else feeling the same way that we should have anyone with an e-bike should have a license? Because that's what the Priscilla Law is to do, to require that anyone who uses an e-bike, that they have the same requirements as someone who drives a license.
This is George State. I would say yes, because it's a motorized vehicle. So I think they should have a license, and yes, they are reckless. So they should have a
Hmm.
license plate so they could be identified.
Okay, so I believe so. What I'm going to do is ask Nadine. Nadine, is it possible that you set up that we, in response to Bronx 8, say that we, as Public Safety Community Board 17, supports this bill or support this law? Or I'll
So
draft up something and then send it out to you guys to take a vote.
yes, when you draft it, you
Mm-hmm.
can send it to the committee, but when you officially want to send it out, send it to Ms. Frazier and she'll let me know if I can send it
Okay.
out or not. So you can send
All
it to
right.
me, I
So
can forward it to the entire committee. Then they can send back their ideas. I can send that to you, and then you can send the official one to me and Ms. Frazier before it
got
goes
it.
out.
So before our next meeting, I will have a drafted in support of this Priscilla law.
Okay, and Mr. Tate just raised his hand.
Yes, Mr. Tate.
Yes, I also want to mention that before it goes out, it does have to be approved by the chairperson of the board, which is Mr. Daly.
Mm-hmm.
So you need to pass it by him too.
Yeah, I'm going to include everyone, but I want to pass it before I pass it to Mr. Daly. I want it to also be passed by the committee first to say, yes, we're all in agreement with this letter of recommendation, and then give it to the chair, and then give it to Frazier.
Yes. No, I'm just putting in since I know you. This is your first time, with
Thank
me.
you.
So just trying to be
Yeah,
helpful.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. The next thing that I did hear about is that there is a possibility, even though it's not in our district, is a possible passing of changing Atlantic Avenue from 3 lanes into 2 lanes to provide more a bicycle lane for that on Atlantic Avenue. And I was wondering, is this something that our board would be in support, and if the other community boards are looking for to kind of not to support this bill, how do we go about that? Is that something that we should be concerned about as Community Board 17?
I would think no,
Thank
because
you.
whatever they do there, will eventually try to bring here to us.
I'm sorry, I could not hear you, Miss Adele.
No, I said, if we vote yes to that, it opens up a floodgate. And whatever they do there, they'll
Mm-hmm.
expand it now.
Yeah,
So I would vote no.
because
We'll have a
as of right now, it seems from what I've been looking during the research, it seems as if the borough president is in alignment, but the other two, this is happening, I believe, in CB8, Community Board 8, and they're saying that they don't want it to happen. The 2 council members are not in agreement, but there is one of the other council members who is in agreement for it. And then also the borough president is in agreement for changing both Atlantic Avenue into a 2-lane to create more of a pedestrian walk and to create a bike lane.
Okay, my hands is
Yes,
raised.
Mr.
I don't
Tate.
know if you see. Yeah, I would say no because I stay off Atlantic. I stay off Atlantic Avenue because it's tight as it is right now.
Yeah,
It's with 3 lanes, it's bad. Imagine if it's only 2 lanes,
and a bike
and the
lane.
traffic will be great. And the bike lane, I said the bikers will be also be in danger because right now there's a lot of accidents on Atlantic Avenue because it's so tight, and then they have the overpass. So
Yeah,
it's really crazy over there. So it's a bad idea, but it's just that the bor- borough president would like to put a bicycle lane on every street if he could.
yeah. I know. So what I will also try to do is draft up something saying that we're not in support, to kind of give support to that other community board to say, hey, we're in alliance with you guys in regards to we're not in support of them changing Atlantic Avenue into a 2-lane neighborhood, just changing it into 2 lanes. One of the things that I do know that I was hoping that NYPD would have been here, and I'm hoping they're here. Audrey just joined. Can you please identify yourself for me, please?
Audrey Henderson, committee member.
Okay. Thank you. Hey, Adele, Adele, you have the floor.
Oh, yes. What I was going to say is, yes, like I said, changes going on in that area. People,
Mm-hmm.
the people who live,
Adele, you're
Yeah.
breaking out. Adele,
Adele, you're breaking up again.
I said, Reynosa's looking at the people in Manhattan coming into Brooklyn. He's not making
Yeah.
the changes for us. He's making the changes for the new people coming in.
Yeah, I'm in total agreement with you. I'm not for it, regardless of what. It's just the congestion as it is. We're already dealing with the congestion pricing of New York City. And we have a governor who is not in alliance with removing it, even though the president has requested for, and then the Department of Transportation has requested for them to get rid of it. Our governor is not trying to remove it, and it's just more congestion because now people are trying to find every single way to avoid either going into Manhattan or the easiest way to go into Manhattan where you don't have to pay a toll. Okay, so I will take a vote, or would you guys want me to put us not in support of Atlantic Avenue being changed? If you can raise your hand on here, I will take that and then go and move on to any other new business. Is everyone raising their hands? Yes, Adele?
No, I raised my hand, that's all.
Yeah, everyone. Okay. All right. Thank you. I will draft that up too, and then by the next meeting, before our next meeting, you'll have 2 drafts. One in support for the Priscilla law, then one not in support of Atlantic Avenue's transformation. Are there any other new business that we need to discuss? Please unmic if you have anything that you would like for us to discuss. Adele?
Yes, I do. It's in regards to
Okay, go right ahead.
It's in regards to the enforcement that we are lacking in the 6-7 in our community.
You're breaking up again, Adele. You're breaking up again. I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me better now?
I can hear you better now.
Okay. We have the traffic enforcement that is not doing anything in our community. In fact, what is going on inside that building is they are refusing to work in certain communities, and this is one of them. I've noticed this. I've listened to some of what they were saying, and I said, okay, they were hired to do a job that they don't want to do, but they choose not to work here. That's why, as George would say, he got cars sitting there for months, years. Hazel, months, years. Everybody else, same issue. And no one comes around to check them, but maybe 1 or 2 people. They recently changed management at that command on Ralph Avenue. And unfortunately, it was a very poor choice. They're doing something I would call milling, meaning if an the manager gets a bonus. It's written into their contract. You can check for yourself. This is what's being done. That manager doesn't care about anything else, I don't believe. The old management did. He was willing to work with us. Now he's downtown Brooklyn area, and we got this woman in Manhattan that I guess they didn't want her, so we have her. But this community doesn't speak up, or whether they don't know to speak up. I've been to other community board meetings around the city, and we don't have the control we're supposed to have, or the say. When an officer tells you what it should be, you should question that, but they don't. They say, oh, he's an officer, he's supposed to know. I'm telling you, the precinct is walking away scot-free. No one's challenging them, and they need to be challenged. The communities control what, when, and where. We seem to be, I hate to say it, lackadaisical about questioning these people. Remember, we live here, they work here. And as long as they put in their 8 or 10 hours, they get paid, they go home. They're here, dealing with these cars all over the place. We say they can only tow so many. Several years back, we had a sergeant in there. His name was Skag Manillo. Nice guy. He was very, very instrumental in pulling multiple cars every single day. He even arranged the tow trucks in the tow pound downtown Brooklyn to come to our area. We had them lined up, about 15 of them on Kings Highway, cars off of Farragut Road. We don't have that anymore. They'll tell you we don't have the tow trucks. They can get them. We don't know where the tow trucks are. They can get them. This is a matter of coordination. And I don't see it. And I'd like to bring it to the committee to vote, to demand a full account of what's going on in that traffic division and how it's being done. And if they tell you they're not doing quotas, then they're lying. They are doing quotas.
So
Thank
do
you.
you think the next step in regards to kind of creating some type of solution is to have a meeting with the higher ups in the
Yes,
traffic division
yes. Their higher up would
and have
be,
them come?
yes. One of their higher ups used to be here. His name was Sullivan. He's the one running
Mhm.
everything now up there. And then the civilian member, his name is Franklin Sepulveda. They'll tell you,
Okay.
no. Yes, they are doing quotas. They've even told the agents, and I was there listening to it. In order for them to do overtime, they must produce 25 for the 4 hours. They must.
Okay. So I will draft up an email. I'll be drafting up a lot of emails tonight within this month. I'll draft up an email requesting that they sit down with us, whether it's in person or whether it's via Zoom, via WebEx.
Yes. Like I said, his name is, I just know his last name.
Oh, Sullivan. Okay.
Civilian member, his name is Franklin Sepulveda.
Okay. I do have a
Because
question for you guys. Do traffic normally come to these meetings that we have?
no,
Okay.
they
On a
came.
Okay.
regular basis,
I
but
had been
they would be
invited.
invited. Yeah, you would have to invite them.
Okay.
They came once about maybe almost 2 years ago now.
Got it.
Her name was Sharon Beckford. But she's not there right now. She's out sick.
Got it.
And the people that they will send you, they're going to be lying through their teeth until they see me
Well,
sitting
we'll
there.
try. Well, I'm gonna make sure that you sit in that meeting when it happens.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to say I could guarantee this is gonna happen, but I will make it I'll put my best efforts into trying to get them to come to our meetings more often, and then to have and actually provide us with updates every time. So I'm trying my best to kind of outline of all the city agencies that kind of need to sit in the space with us and give us updates. And if they can't do monthly, they can do bi-monthly. I'm looking at the MTA, DOT, traffic, environmental, DEP, and then NISM. Anything else for new business? Okay. Old business. I'm gonna rely on you guys. Was there any old business that was still lingering that still needed action to be done?
Jazz, can you think of anything?
The only thing I could think about is the possible, from what I was told, is the possible, what is this thing called? The IBX, Interborough Express. And I don't think anyone has any updates in regards to the Interborough Express. Am I correct? That's supposed to be the train station that's supposed to be, they're implementing to create a train station by Avenue J and Farragut by the old Pathmark, or the new Pathmark.
Yes, I normally will get the emails from them, but I have not seen anything. So you're right. I don't think there's any update on that. But
Okay.
another issue which I haven't heard anyway is regarding one of the old problems that we've had is the trucks and that parked all over the place. And I guess those what they call it, those trailers that they're parking like around Paragot Road and also on Kings Highway and over there by what in the 50s by I don't know if Miss Martinez is still on the line, but I know she was there was some people living in some of those trailers.
Yes.
Adele, do you have an
Yes, I'm
update
here.
from her?
There's one left on Avenue D. He was supposed to have vacated that area almost a year and a half ago. He never left. All the other ones were moved away, but there's one left, and we do not have any sewer hookups for this person. And they're also on the side streets around Avenue H. I saw a few around my storage place. They were in there also. They're called the motorhomes. Like
Their motorhomes are trailers.
Both trailers
Both?
and
detached
motorhomes.
trailers on Farragut. Detached trailers should be written no matter what. The code is 66 for detached trailers. And then it's not being addressed.
I do have a question. So when all of this happened, there was nothing from the Department of Buildings in regards to it, or just even
Well,
NYCHA in regards?
for motorhome, it's transportation. Is there motor?
Mhm. So DOT never said anything in regards to it, because I could have sworn those were banned in New York
Yes,
City.
they are, because there's no sewer hookups, no water, no electrical, nothing. In fact, the one on Avenue D, around where Hazel is, the park in a school, it has a electric motor running 24/7. They have no electrical. They're doing their raw sewage. I don't know.
Okay. And we reached out to the elected officials in regards to it, and there's been no response, I'm assuming.
Well, they got rid of the other three that were there, but this one, he promised to leave and never did. He gave them lip service and never left.
Okay. Okay. I will follow up on that, and I would hope to have some type of update by our next meeting.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Adele. And Mr. Tate.
I want to say is going on with the lack of enforcement is that they allow them to choose where they want to go, and they don't want to go
Okay.
here. That has to stop.
Yeah. I'm in total agreement. Yes, Mr. Tate.
No.
Oh, okay, no problem. Are there any other pressing old news, old business? I'm a little concerned that they didn't show up. NYPD didn't show up in regards to the 3 serious matters, in regards to the 3 shootings that took place in the last month. And I was really hoping that they would have had an update. What I've been doing in this first week is looking at nonprofit organizations that do preventive crimes, or that they are involved with street violence, to kind of do a presentation in regards to what are they doing pertaining to how they are doing reduction. And then I also wanted to kind of follow up with NYPD, because I did find out there was a program that the city had that was called, I cannot find that was called Give Initiative and Operation Snug. And it focused on the decrease, and there was a decrease, but they focused only in the Bronx. And I wanted to kind of get more information of why Brooklyn was not one of their priorities when they were doing this initiative. Did you guys ever hear about the Operation Snug?
No.
Okay.
No. These giants moved in from
Yeah, so it was something that started back in 2014, where they used, because I'm assuming the Bronx had more crimes. So what they did do is that they created this initiative where it was a mixture of nonprofit organizations and the city, and they allocated actual funding, and this funding is still going on to reduction of violence in the Bronx. And technically was supposed to it went to 4 different areas, but the Bronx and Manhattan were the only areas that actually received the resources to actually the resources, and it never went to either Staten Island, the Queens, or Brooklyn. So what I wanted to do was kind of get information from the 76th precinct in regards to if that operation is still active, and there's still funding from it. Since they are complaining about they don't have enough staff, could they then request for allocation using the Operation Snug program and create and implement a program using the 67th precinct as their pilot program to see if that same results that they got in the Bronx can actually work in Brooklyn. So I'm going to look more into it. I will probably send an email to them, but I was hoping that they would have joined this call to see if they could begin to start to look inside that initiative. Yes, Adele.
How successful were they in the Bronx? What were the statistics on how successful they were?
What I will do is give you, because the program has over 375 pages, and they break it down. There was a reduction in regards to murders. It was maybe 3% down. In regards to robberies, it drastically dropped, and then it also dropped more with sexual assault crimes.
Okay. Thank you.
And so what I'll do is within this week is send out an email so that you guys can see what it looked like, so you guys can review it yourself to see maybe this is something that the 67 precinct should look for, and try to advocate through the city to get funding for that so that they can implement that program and use the 67 precinct as a pilot if they wanted to try it.
Okay. I'd be interested in reading it. Because
Yeah,
we've had
I
other
have
groups, we had other groups come here and they get funding and they do very little. They just take the funding and go about their business.
Mr. Tate, is GMAC still operable?
No, they're not.
Okay.
What are you looking for? Like crime prevention organizations? Because I heard you said that before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. So what I was looking at two. There was one called Kings Against Violence Initiative. I have a meeting with them. I'm just waiting for them I have a meeting with them next week. And then the other organization I was looking at was Citizens Crimes Commission. And with them, they also have first aid response. So let's say, for example, if an incident did happen, a shooting, they have their own EMT team that can come to kind of assess and actually do triage automatically, and this is a free program. So I was looking to see if they do our districts, because right now I see that they're focused more in Crown Heights, but Crown Heights and our district is not too far from each other, that if they were willing or even thinking of even opening their space to actually expand their work into our neighborhood, into our district.
Okay, there's a number of organizations in our district that supposedly are working with it in crime preventions. You have the God Squad, you have the Elite Learners, East Flatbush Village, DRUM, DRUM, they are on Flatbush and Glenwood. Then we also have, they also have, I said Elite Learners, Project Echo, that's another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so those, they're supposed to be fighting crime in the area. So
yeah, maybe we can have them give us updates.
Yeah, because they all have grants from the city to fight.
And maybe we can have them give us updates, and maybe since they are doing it, if they're getting, maybe they need to get firsthand, feedback from our community saying, hey, I know that you guys are working here, but here we're still having these issues, and can you guys work in conjunction with NYPD? And if not, what are some of the programs that you guys are providing, and what is it? How is it working? And where can we see results? I think sometimes we just have to also hold a lot of these nonprofits also accountable in regards to what are the things that they're doing if they're receiving funding from us. What are the dollars being used for? And if it is being used, if you guys need more help, maybe we can also help advocate for you if you guys do have the ability and the capacity to take on more. But it's also just to know what's going on with them in regards to just having that connection and rapport with us, because if we're saying that we're doing public safety and we're sitting here, they should be in these meetings. They should also be giving us updates in regards to some of the issues and their concerns from what they see. I just feel like I think that's the only way that we all get more understanding and seeing where there may be those spaces of where there can be room for improvement. But that is all I have. If I could, is there anything else that we need to address? If not, can I get someone to motion to adjourn this meeting?
George, they make a motion to adjourn the public safety meeting at 8:16 p.m.
That's too early.
And can I get a second?
Monica McCain Brown second the motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:16 p.m.
Thank you, guys. Meeting is adjourned. I hope this was informative, but it was informative to me on the things that I need to work on and try to have prepared by next month's meeting. And hopefully we'll have some speakers here to kind of give us updates on the stuff that they're doing in our community. Enjoy the rest of your night. Enjoy the weather. Stay safe. And Mr. Tate, I'm going to call you. Not tonight, but I'll call you tomorrow. And Miss Nadine, you could stop recording. Thank you.
Yeah, yes, Kadesha. It's funny because I was going to ask if you could share your phone number, but when you call me, you could.
I will put my phone number in the chat.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do that right now.
And George will give you my number when we talk to him.
Okay. And I will reach out to everyone if everyone is comfortable with that. If they're not, then I will put my email address.